I mean, if I have a bad day, painting is what makes me like it's just therapy.
Right.
Just
Okay.
just a paintbrush like on a canvas that just makes it I don't know just flow. You're not really thinking about it. You're just thinking about the next line or the
Yeah.
next color, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Like
What
it's just real therapy for me.
Good evening and welcome to Art After Dark, where you get to learn all about arts and culture in West Texas, and I get to live out my Dick Cavett fantasy. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Randy Ham. I am the executive director for Odessa Arts, and tonight we're continuing our series on tattoo artists with our guest, also from Sacrificial Needle, Oneks. Man, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, just like I did with everybody else, when did you get started? What drew you to being a tattoo artist?
When I was younger, my mom she used to work at a salon, and next to it was a tattoo shop. So I would just go in there and just check out all the art, and little by little, I just wanted to start doing more art, all the tattoos, all the flash and everything.
Yeah. How old
Yeah.
were you?
Maybe I was like 7, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I would just go over there and just look at the art. They would let me draw with them, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so it was cool.
Yeah. Did you grow up here in the Permian Basin
I grew up in El Paso, Texas.
in El Paso?
Yes.
El Paso's a beautiful city.
Yeah, it
I
is.
I love El Paso so much. I used to spend summers there.
Okay.
So what got you to the Permian Basin? How did you get here?
My friend Severe, he owns the tattoo shop Sacrificial Needle.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tattoo in El Paso and everything, but I wanted to change scenery.
Mm-hmm.
I usually move to different cities every once in a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just decided to move over here. It's been working out really good. The money's good. The art's good.
Yeah.
It's just helping me explore.
So where else have you lived?
I used to live in Colorado for like 5 years. I
Mm-hmm.
used to live in Phoenix for a couple of years, like 3 years. And that's basically it over here too.
Yeah, so basically you've just been following Severe around?
Basically, we
Yeah,
always
like
end
a
up,
like a
yeah,
like a crazy
yeah,
stalker?
we
Yeah.
always end up meeting up and painting everywhere we can.
Uh, do you remember your first tattoo that you got? Your first tattoo
Well,
that you
Severe actually did my first tattoo
All right,
in his
see?
mom's basement when I was 16.
When you were 16? All right. When did it go from getting tattoos to thinking that you could do tattoos as a profession?
I guess when he started doing tattoos, honestly, Severe, like he started doing tattoos, and it was just like everybody just started following behind him, like because everybody's an artist. We all grew up together. We all met through art,
Yeah?
and yeah, we started seeing him do art, like tattoos and everything, and we're like, all right, I could do it too,
Yeah?
little by little, and then you just find a apprenticeship, and you just keep going,
Yeah.
till the wheels fall off, you know.
Yeah. So you are also a visual artist and you
Yes.
paint, and so what kind of art do you do?
I mean, I started doing graffiti art honestly
Mhm.
when I was younger, but everything was the same thing, like comic books and everything. You look at the backgrounds, you look at the drawings, like it was more about just the art, looking at
Mhm.
like cartoons, anime, all that stuff that comes out on like just replicating, knowing you could replicate it, and you're like,
Mhm.
it's a good thing.
Yeah. So that's a good point because you go from most artists will start by replicating art that they
Yes,
already see, right? And then you start developing your own style and your own identity and start creating original
yes,
pieces.
yes.
So do you remember what like your first impactful original piece was?
I remember doing a Garfield when I was like in 5th grade, and I
Yeah.
really thought it was like I got it down,
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, I could do this, like, I just whatever I could see that I think I could replicate, I would try to do it.
Okay. And then you went from replicating to creating something original that
Yes.
was okay. Uh, what was something that you did that was an original piece that wasn't a copy of somebody else that really was something you were very proud of?
I started doing a lot of like weird characters,
Mhm.
like with big eyes and different things, like Miles all crazy or just like real like not proportioned characters.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just people like them, so I don't know. I just started doing more of them, things that don't exist, I guess.
Right.
And I just
So something that's just in your head or in the head of
yes,
like a client or something, and you were able to bring it to
yeah,
life
yeah.
and put it on paper. Uh, when did you have people start responding to your art like that?
Ever since I started drawing, like my mom would draw too, so she would just like encourage me to keep drawing.
Yeah, so your mother
Maybe,
was an artist as
yeah.
well. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
she went to school for, cosmetology, so she would have to draw, like, the girls, like, the hair designs and everything like that, so I would
Mhm.
always I guess she would try to keep me busy by drawing,
Yeah,
like, get you drawing,
yeah.
That way
Well,
I'm not over there in the streets or, getting in trouble or anything. So it's just like, yo, get to drawing.
right. Well, that's really great that you had a parent that encouraged your
Yeah,
artistic inclinations and kind of nurtured your talent.
yeah.
That's really awesome. Uh, and how long have you been here in Odessa?
I'm guessing like maybe like 5 months now.
5 months. So
Yeah,
you're brand new
yeah,
to.
brand new.
Okay, so um, remember we're on the air. How have you been adapting to life in Odessa from El Paso?
It's small.
Yeah,
That's all I could say. Like it's easier to get to one place to another. Pretty good. And I like that, honestly.
right.
In El Paso, so much traffic from one side to the another. It's gonna take you forever.
Yeah, it really is.
So it's a lot more comfortable for some reason.
Well, good. Well, good. We're glad that you're here. Uh, do you also like sell your paintings or is your work for
I try to
sale?
sell as many paintings as I can.
Okay. Do
That
you,
way I could just keep like producing more.
right.
Yeah.
S- So do you work on your art every day in
Yes, I
addition to your
do.
tattoos?
Yes, I do.
So is that something that you do at the studio or do you do it at home or a little bit of
Anywhere.
both? Anywhere you
Yeah.
can find
Yeah.
a
That's
quiet 5 minutes. So
Yep.
you keep
Especially with
it.
iPad, you could just take it
I was gonna
everywhere.
say you just pull out your
Yeah, just put
iPad
yeah, yeah.
and start working. So you do some digital art then.
Yes.
All right. So um, what was it like transitioning from you know, uh, pen and paper or brush and parchment to digital art.
I'd rather have hands-on mostly. Like I'd rather
Yeah.
like like the iPad is cool and everything, but I'd rather like be have a paintbrush, a marker, a spray can. It's a different thing.
Yeah, it's a lot more tactile.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the creation of art, you've got a piece of glass
Yeah, it's not
separating
the same
you
thing.
from
Yeah, it's
your.
it's not the same feeling that you get even when you
Yeah,
create something and you finish it. It's a digital thing, so it's kind of like I'd rather do that and then put it into an actual painting.
right. So
Yeah,
you do
like you
like
just do the
preliminary
mock up. Yeah,
sketch
the mock up and everything,
and then
and
do.
transfer it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the smarter thing to do.
One of my favorite comic book artists. I love his work, and I followed him for years. And he just came out with a thing a couple of years ago, and it was some of the best art I had ever seen him do, and I was so like inspired by it. And then I found out that he did all of it on Procreate, and it
Oh,
was
okay,
all
yeah,
on the
yeah,
iPad, and I was a little
yeah. It
pissed. I was
throws
a
you
little
off a little bit for
pissed.
some reason. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but yeah,
some ways I shouldn't feel like this, but sometimes I feel like it's kind of cheating, right?
I believe that
R
too for some
right?
reason.
But, I mean, digital's the wave of the future, and it's how art is gonna go, and I think we're going to have to find a way to make sure that they work in harmony.
Yeah,
Your digital and, you do a really good job doing, like, mock-ups
yeah,
and
yeah,
preliminary sketches and then take it out into
yeah,
the
yeah.
world. Um, have you done any, mural work as a graffiti artist?
Yeah, we actually have done a lot of work before. We would just go up to walls and ask for walls.
Yeah.
Little by little, people would go and ask like, "Oh, how much would you charge for this?" So that's when it's turned into more commission work.
Yeah. Yeah, so, uh, where have you done some of your mural work?
In El Paso, we used to have a lot of walls.
Mhm.
Little by little, there's more like the art scene is getting more involved with it. So like a lot
Yeah.
of people are getting walls over there, like through the city and through the art.
Yeah, yeah. A good friend of mine, Ben Fife, works for the Museum and Cultural District up in El Paso, and the work that El Paso artists do is so inspiring
Yeah,
to
there's a
me.
lot of work. There's
The
a lot of work out there right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, and we're gonna have that here.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
absolutely gonna have that here. Um, I'm gonna ask you something that Des and I talked about too, is that art is something that gives comfort and respite to other people, gives relief to other people. But when you work in the arts, it's part of your everyday work.
Yeah.
And even on, your best day, it still can be challenging and you have obstacles to overcome and you have personality clashes and all of those things. What's something that you do to kind of pull you out of that and give you that type of comfort and give you that kind of reassurance that you might not get when you have like maybe a bad day,
I mean, if I have a bad day, painting is what makes me like it's just therapy.
right? Okay.
Just a paintbrush like on a canvas, it just makes it, I don't know, just flow. You're not really thinking about it. You're just thinking about the next line or the
Yeah.
next color,
D-
stuff like that.
uh-huh.
Like
What
it's just real therapy for me.
What kind of, medium do you use when you paint? What's your favorite
I
type of
mean,
medium?
I like markers, spray paint.
Markers? Okay. And, what do you typically like what are the images that you want to bring forth from your mind to the canvas?
I try to do it just things that are really bright, if anything.
Mhm. So lots of
Yeah, a
color.
lot of color.
'Cause we don't have much of that here.
Yeah.
It's the arts that are gonna bring color to the
Yeah, yeah,
Permian Basin because we have, dust everywhere, and every one of our buildings is the color of dust,
yeah.
except for Sacrificial Needle. It has a lot of it's an explosion of color in the middle of, Grant Street, which is amazing. Um, so were you a part of the art show and rave that
Yes, I was.
so tell me a little bit about that experience as an artist. Severe kind of organized it, but as one of the artists, what was it like
I mean, it was
being in?
just good to show people what I could do. Honestly,
Hmm.
a lot of people I don't know a lot of people out here. So for people just to go and see my art, that's cool. Like some exposure.
Yeah,
You get to talk to people that are just from like I don't know the scene. I guess. I mean, people who love art actually went to the show to go see art.
right.
That's the good thing.
Yeah, and so you made a lot of new connections in the
Yeah,
community, and
yeah,
a lot of new people came into the studio that maybe hadn't been there
yeah,
before.
exactly.
So you may not have had like a sale that night, but somebody that was in there will probably come
Yeah,
back
yeah,
either for a tattoo or they'll come back
yeah, yeah.
for,
That's for sure.
yeah. Do you have a specific tattoo that you've done on someone that you're especially proud of?
I guess the first sleeve I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my friend was that was his first tattoo, and like in 3 months we finished the whole sleeve because every 2 weeks he would just come get another one, another one,
Oh
another one.
wow.
So that one really like he helped me like know how to do a sleeve. You know,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was pretty hard at first, but I mean it just he kept coming,
Yep.
kept coming. So I was like, all right,
Do you have ever have a client that comes in that is like getting their first tattoo and they're scared to death, or is everybody
yeah.
just excited?
They're both honestly. I
Yeah.
just tattooed some girl. I know it's her first tattoo, but she got a matching tattoo with her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just the whole time she's like super excited, but then once the needle hit, she was like, "Oh, like this."
Right. Oh,
But
ow.
yeah, ow, this really hurts. But it was a small tattoo, so she was able to go through with it.
Yeah, you think she's gonna be back for
Yeah,
another
she
one?
will be back for
She'll
sure.
she's
Yeah,
gonna
for
be back
sure,
for
for
another one.
sure.
Oh, uh, that's one thing that I've noticed about a lot of tattoo artists and people that have wearable art uh, tend tend to not stop with one.
Yeah,
It becomes a thing,
yeah, for sure.
a habit, and it's a way. It's another way to express your personality on your body beyond just the clothes that you
Yeah,
wear. Um, so, what would you say to someone who is thinking about getting a tattoo, but they're too scared to do it?
just do it.
Yeah.
Just get it done. It
Sounds
doesn't. It doesn't hurt like as much as people think. Honestly,
right.
I would just tell them to get it somewhere like where it doesn't hurt that bad.
Right. Okay. Well, where would that be?
I say your arms,
The
like your
arms?
arms right here.
Okay. All right. Well, so do you uh do you find yourself here learning from some of the artists that are here? I know you've only been here 5 months, but
Yes.
has it affected the way that you work as a tattoo artist or
Yes,
that
it
you
really has.
paint?
I see a lot
Yeah.
of, I see a lot of talent at the shop. It makes you just want to do better. You see
Mm-hmm.
somebody do a tattoo, and like, oh, yeah, all right,
Yeah,
I want to do something like that.
but better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
there's
yes. I mean, it's all friendly competition.
right,
But
right,
I mean, some people are gonna do a better tattoo that you can't do.
right.
But I mean, there's different styles and like, but yeah, it makes you want to do different styles. It makes you want to do like, be a better artist, honestly.
Yeah, and I guess the same would go for like the visual art too. Like
Yeah,
you see the stuff around the
yeah,
studio
yeah.
and want to do something else. Um, have you completed a piece since you moved here?
A lot of them actually.
Okay. Anything specific that you're very proud of?
No, right now I can't really think of that. I'm just trying to get like big canvases done right now, and
Hmm.
that's really like my focus right now. The bigger, the better for right now. Like,
Okay, so you do
big
the
scale, yeah,
big
big scale,
scale,
yeah. Trying to go bigger and bigger as much as I
right?
can.
Right. Well, what's one of the bucket list artistic items? What's a goal of yours that you haven't done yet? Like a painting or a tattoo or something that you've always wanted to do that you haven't done yet?
I would like to do a big scale building,
Yeah,
like we like huge building. I've been
yeah,
seeing a lot of people like overseas like doing big walls,
yeah,
like
yeah,
apartment complexes, hotels,
right,
big things.
right. We have a three-story mural on the side of the parking garage at the hotel, and that artist, after he did this one, he went overseas to like uh, Eastern Europe, and he did like a 22-story
Yeah,
building,
that's
and
where it's at right there.
right,
Yeah,
and we have some buildings like that here that would definitely benefit from a a large
yeah,
scale mural, and I would love to see something like that. So, if you find a place or you get an opportunity, let me know because
yeah.
I think that's something that uh, Odessa needs
Yeah,
desperately, uh, and that I like that ambition.
yeah.
That is real ambition. Ambition is a good thing,
Yes, it is.
It pushes you to get out of your comfort zone.
Mhm.
Um, in a community like Odessa, where a lot of our visual art had not been done on that scale for a long time, you have to show people what it is because they have never seen it
Yes.
before, you know. And it's everything from large scale murals to traffic box art to just, all of those things. And it takes just that one person to show them. And then everybody's like, oh, that's what you meant. Okay, we'll do that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That sounds really cool. So yeah, let's find you a wall.
Yeah, yeah.
If anyone out there is a real estate owner and would like to see a large scale mural painted on their building, please contact Odessa Arts and we'll put you in touch with
Yes, sir.
Oneks and we'll get it done. Um, I want to thank you so much for being here tonight. It's been a real pleasure getting to know all of you and over the past few weeks and talk about tattoo art. I don't think people tend to ignore it as an artistic discipline, and it really is. It's just as much an artistic discipline as oils or charcoals or
Yes.
anything else. And the time and skill and effort that you put into it is, well, I mean, I can see it right now,
Yeah.
and that's amazing. So thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on Art After Dark.